Good morning, everybody. Again, we are together to learn. What we are going to learn? Social science, chapter number 17. Yesterday we had started, right? We are talking about the different kinds of resources, isn't it? Yesterday we have completed land resource. We have seen that land resource is very important. Okay, though the limited availability of land is there, yet it is having its own importance because we cannot have our activities without the support of the land. Land support all the different kinds of animals and all the living beings, isn't it? Okay, today we will see the next resource, an important resource, that is soil. Let us see what are the important facts or what is important about the soil. Okay, what is soil? Have a look now. What is soil? The uppermost thin layer of the crust that supports all vegetation is known as soil. What is soil? The uppermost thin layer of the crust that supports all vegetation is known as soil. Soil is the uppermost layer. It is the thin layer of the crust and it supports all types of vegetation, all types of plants. Clear now? And you know that all the living beings are dependent upon the soil to survive, whether it is a human being or plants or animals or birds. All of them have to either directly or indirectly depended upon the soil for their existence, for their survival. We know that our basic needs have been fulfilled with soil only. Whatever our basic needs are there, shelter we need food, that is fulfilled only from soil. So, soil is considered as the most important natural resource for the human beings. Soil is considered as the most important natural resource and it is a renewable resource. Do you know what is renewable resource? Renewable resource means the resource which can be used again and again, which can be reused. The same resource which we have used earlier can be reused. That is known as renewable resource. Soil is a renewable resource and you must know that soil formation is a very slow process. Soil is formed very slowly. Through a very slow process, soil is formed and it takes hundreds of years to form only 1 centimeter of soil layer. It means that what should we do? We should protect the soil from being eroded, being degraded. This 1 centimeter, you know what is 1 centimeter? That 1 centimeter of soil to be formed, it will take hundreds of years. But our activities, let this soil to be eroded within 1 minute. Isn't it? So what we have to do? We have to be very much careful in the protection of soil. We should protect the soil from eroded and degraded. Right? It was just an introduction about the soil as a resource. Now we will move on to the soil formation. Okay, how soil is formed? Soil formation is a continuous process which is known as pedogenesis. The process by which soil is formed is known as pedogenesis. And parent, what are the factors which are responsible for the formation of soil? Parent rock, topography, climate, soil organisms and time are the factors of soil formation. What do you mean by parent rock? The rock from which that particular soil is formed. That is known as parent rock. Topography means nature of the land, the relief feature of the land. Next is climate of that particular area where that soil is found. Soil organisms. There are a large number of microorganisms present in the soil. They are known as soil organisms. Then time, how much time it took. Okay, so all these are the factors behind the soil formation. Clear now? This parent rock, when we talk about these factors separately, we can come to know that the parent rocks have definite characteristics. You know that your parent, you have the features of your parents, no? And your friend has the features of his or her parents. Can you both have same characteristics? No, there are differences in your features and characteristics. It is only because of the differences in your parents. So the children get all the features of the parents. Likewise, the soil also get the features from the parent rock from which it has formed. Okay, next temperature and rainfall. In that particular area, climatic factors are there like wind, temperature, rainfall, etc. They also decide the soil formation. Somewhere the temperature is very high and rainfall also is very high. So what happens? The soil formation will be very fast. Soil will be weathered. Weathered means soil will be broken down into small pieces, and rocks will be weathered. Rocks are broken into small pieces, that is known as weathering. That weathering occurs very quickly. As a result, soil formation also will be very fast. Clear? Then topography. Topography of that area affects the drainage of that area. For example, from the northern plains get a good amount of soil. How? The rivers of the Himalayan region bring the soil with them, a mixture of sand and silt with them. That is what topography. From the top of the Himalayas, when the rivers flow, they bring alluvium with them, and it is deposited in the plain region. Clear now? That is also a feature of that soil which is found in the plain region. Then this is what the weathered rock do not get accumulated on the steep slopes. They move down the slope by water under the force of gravity. There are two forces. Number one, force of gravity. Number two, force of the water. Because of these two forces, the weathered rock comes down. And in the plain areas with general slopes, soils tend to accumulate there without any difficulty. The rivers bring this alluvium, the soil with them, pebbles with them, rocks with them, and what do? They accumulate these weathered material or the collected material in the plain region. Clear now? So, and in this soil, what will be there? The dead plants, the remains of the dead organisms will in the soil deposited by the rivers, we can say it is mixed with the decayed parts of plants and animals, dead plants and dead organisms that add humus to the soil, and thus the soil is made fertile. Okay, there are some organisms like earthworms and ants. They create a space for the air and water in the soil. Thus the soil it is able to absorb air and water in plenty. Thus soil becomes loose and it becomes fertile gradually. Next factor is time. How much longer the time for the soil formation? More deeper is the soil layer. Okay, if the soil takes much more time, a longer period for the soil formation, it means that the layer will be very thick. And if it takes very less time, then the layer of the soil will be very thin. Okay, now next one, this weathering of rocks is a reason, and moving water, that is rivers, and winds also contribute to the soil formation. How do they play a role in the soil formation? One reason is weathering of rocks. Rocks are weathered and they have been brought by the rivers. This is what here. The weathered materials have been brought by the moving water, the flowing rivers and blowing winds with them. Glaciers also bring them, and what is done? It has been accumulated somewhere. Thus, these all factors are responsible for the soil formation. The most important factor is parent rock. Then we have seen the topography of that area. Then what else we could see? climatic conditions of that area, then the organisms in the soil like earthworms, bacteria is there. Okay, then time is also a factor which decides the formation of the soil. Clear now? Okay, there are some examples of soil. You have heard, I think, no? India has different kinds of soil. Like in the northern plains, we have alluvial soil, which is very fertile soil. Then we have black soil found in the Deccan Plateau. That is also very much suitable for the cultivation of cotton, right? Then we have arid soil in Rajasthan. We have mountain soil in the mountain regions. We have red and yellow soil in the eastern parts of our country. Not eastern means in the states of Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh and Odisha. Then we are having laterite soil in the states of Kerala, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. In this way, there are different kinds of soil found in our country. Why these varieties of soil is found? It is because of these different factors. On the basis of these factors, the soil texture, the characteristics of the soil change. Clear now? So, shall we continue? Okay, now we will learn about the problems of soil. What are the problems of soil? There are two major problems of the soil. What are they? Depletion and erosion. Clear? These are the two major problems of soil. How does it occur? How do these problems occur? Continuous cultivation of crops robs soil of its fertility. If we continuously cultivate the same land, what will happen? The soil fertility will be decreased. And if the same soil is grown every year, then also soil may be deficient in some nutrients. The soil will lose all the essential nutrients if we cultivate the same crop. Clear? So what should we do? We should note that all crops do not need the same nutrients from the soil in equal amount. We should know, a cultivator, a farmer should know that all the crops never they absorb all the nutrients from the soil. Soil has different kinds of nutrients. One crop may need one type of nutrient that is not needed for the other crop, and that these two are not needed for the third crop. In this way, there are differences in the way in which the plants absorb the nutrients from the soil. So what should we do? We should mix these crops. First time we planted with crop number A, variety A. Next time we will not repeat that same variety. We will have variety B. And for the third time we will have variety C. Till the time what will happen? The soil will get time to regenerate. It will have more, it will increase its fertility. That is why that rotation of the crops is very necessary. Clear now? Then the fertility of the soil can be restored by application of manures and fertilizers. What we can do? We can increase the fertility of the soil by adding manures and fertilizers. But these chemicals which have been used in the production of fertilizers, the fertilizers we are using in our field, they contain chemicals. These chemicals make the soil unfit for the cultivation in long run. We will not be able to cultivate the land for a longer period of time because these chemicals are not good for the soil. Clear? That is what depletion of soil. Soil loses its quality. Second one is erosion. That is what the major problem faced by the soil. What is erosion? Let us see. What do you know? What you have heard about soil erosion now? What is erosion? The top layer of the soil is removed from one place and deposited in the other place. That is known as soil erosion. This erosion causes greatest loss to soils. Soil, when it regains its fertility, by the time it is eroded. So what happens? The essential nutrients have been lost in the soil. Loose soil devoid of vegetation is liable to higher rate of erosion. The loose soil, the soil which is loose in some areas, that soil is more vulnerable to erosion. Okay, it can be carried by running water or wind or by glacier, anything can carry that loose soil. Clear now? Then soil erosion is caused by physical and human factors also. What is a human factor? Human factor include deforestation, overgrazing, overuse of chemicals and fertilizers, over irrigation, faulty agricultural practices. All these are the practices of humans. All these factors, the human factors, are also responsible for soil erosion. Clear now? And what are the physical factors? They include slope of the land, intensity of rainfall, and velocity of wind. These are the three factors which decide, physical factors which decide the soil erosion, and these many are the human factors which decide the soil erosion. Clear now? When we over irrigate a field, do you know what happens? It leads to salinization. What is salinization? The water becomes and the soil becomes more and more saline. Okay, in India, 36% of the total irrigated area has been damaged by salinization. 36% of the land area, the cropped land area, has been deserted now. Why? It is because of salinization. It becomes saline. Okay, saline water is not able to use. We are not able to use the saline water. Thus, problem occurs on the land. Clear? Next topic we are moving towards is conservation of land and soil. Now we have come to know that land and soil are very important resources. So what should we do? We should conserve the most important resources like land and soil. These two things have to be conserved properly. You know that the population of the world has increased, and when their number increased, what happened? Their demands also increased. When their demands increased, the production increased. To increase the production, what happened to what was done? Large scale destruction of natural resources like land, soil, forest, etc. When the demands of the people increased as a result of the population explosion, a large number of natural resources were destructed. How? For example, forest. When the urbanization increased, we need more and more tree trunks for making our furnitures. So more and more trees started cutting. Clear now? In this way, destruction of resources has been caused because of our careless use. And minimizing our resource needs, finding ways and means of better and efficient utilization of resources. What we should do? We should minimize our resource needs, and we should find ways and means of better and efficient utilization of resources, and we should find the alternatives and conserving available resources through rational use and better planning. Clear? What should we do? We should learn to minimize the use of the resources. Then we can make a planning. We can think about the alternate methods. Okay, so what to be done? This is the time to take a note that we should protect our land and soil. Why? Because land and soil have been eroded and they have been degraded. Within the near future, we will not be able to get any food items from the field. Why? Because the field will not give us anything back, and there would be very less prices for the goods. When population increases, we will start adopting new technologies to extract more and more resources. That will lead to the depletion of the resource. So what we should do? We should minimize the needs of our resources so that we can keep it safe. We can find some alternative methods. Clear now? We can have a better planning to use the resources. In this way, we can also take part in the conservation of these two resources, which are the land and soil. Now we will see some methods, some techniques which can be taken to reduce the problem of land and soil. Okay, what are they? First of all, the first one is contour ploughing. What is contour ploughing? In the previous page you saw it. I'll show it once more. See this one, this is what contour ploughing. You can see that it is a rugged land. Okay, it is just like a hill, and in that hill, instead of ploughing the land from the top to bottom, what has been done? It has been done in a parallel way, parallel to the hills. Okay, in this way, if the soil, if the ploughing is done, what will happen? The top soil will not easily come down, because there is no channel to come down easily. But here there is a channel made, but the people cannot, the soil cannot be eroded. Clear now? It will not be eroded, it can be protected. This type of ploughing is known as contour ploughing. Clear now? Now we are moving to the next point. What is the next point? That is controlling of shifting cultivation. We can control shifting cultivation. Did I tell about terrace farming? Terrace farming means the type of farming done on hilly areas. See, this is what a hilly area, and terrace has been made here. It is done in different steps. You can see here one step, then second step, third step, fourth, fifth, sixth, in this way up to the bottom. It has been cultivated. This way of plantation is known as terrace farming. Clear now? So that the soil from the top will not come down. Soil can be protected from being eroded. This is known as terrace farming. Now you got to contour ploughing, you got to controlling shifting cultivation. If shifting cultivation is not controlled, what will happen? What will happen? The remaining area also will be cut. It will be disappeared. That is why we should have a control upon shifting cultivation. Then we should have a control upon deforestation. We must practice afforestation. What is afforestation? Planting a large number of trees. We should encourage it, and we should plug the gullies. Gullies should be properly maintained. Otherwise, these channels which have been made through erosion, that has to be properly made and arranged so that gully erosion will not occur. Okay, next is strip cropping. Strip cropping means it has been done in strips. Okay, strips, the crops have been grown, and in between the strips we allow some thorny bushes and all to grow. Clear now? That is what strip cropping, that the roots of these plants can absorb the soil. It can hold the soil very tightly with them, so we can conserve the soil from being eroded. Clear now? Then bunding of fields. Fields have to be bundled properly. Then creating shelter belts of trees in dry regions. In the dry regions, you can see that in the plantations, in the cultivated area, there may be some trees which can be found. These way of planting the trees within our cultivated field is known as, that is known as shelter belt. Clear now? And next one is ridge tilling. Ridge tilling is done in this way. Ridge tilling, ridges have been made, see, and a plantation has been done. As a result, soil erosion can be controlled very easily. These are the various steps taken to protect the soil from being eroded. So we have what did we learn today? We learned only about the soil as a resource, its importance. What are the topics we covered? Have a look now. We learned about an introduction about the soil. Then we saw the factors responsible for the soil erosion. Then we have discussed the two problems faced by the soil, depletion and erosion. Then we learned about conservation of land and soil. We saw why should we conserve and how can we conserve. So your chapter is today's part is over. The chapter is not completed. Okay, we will carry on with the remaining part of the chapter tomorrow. If you did not understand, watch the video again and again, and if there is any doubt remaining, talk to me and do some studies at your home, but you will stay inside your home only. Stay home, stay safe, and take care of yourself. Bye.